all right, you're at the show, carry on. Yeah.
Like I've seen it, a life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon.
Welcome back to the Anarchy Garage, and today I'm going to be cracking on with the Bulkhead on the E-Type Revenge. And if you're not familiar with this build, this started out as a concept which we found online of a E-Type with a massive body kit and massive wheels on, and completely fell in love with it. And that then turned into putting a brand new F-Type engine and running gear into this car. So what I'm going to be doing today is cutting out the rest of the front of the Bulkhead on the E-Type to remove all of these dimples and bits and holes that we're not going to be using. So let's get cutting into the body. On to another day then with the Bulkhead repairs on the E-Type Revenge. Now what you'll have seen is me obviously welding this flat panel in, and today's job is actually just to linish this off and then finish off a little bit of the strength work behind it, and that is the top half tidied up. The reason for it being another day though is I realised that I was going to need some added steel work. Because these toe panels were so badly damaged and rusted away, what I needed to do was actually go and get some proper sheet metal. So these are a replica panel, they've turned up really quickly, and the benefit of this is it's going to have the exact shape, size and indentations to be able to build from on this panel. So when I cut that out, put these in, I can work all of the measurements from this, and I know that it is millimetre perfect before I move on. So let's crack on with the upper part of the bulkhead and then start on the toe panels. That's the upper part of the bulkhead all linished off, and I think you'll agree it is now looking super sleek and more modern and more like I'm imagining the render to be underneath the bonnet area. So there is a little bit more welding to do in either corner, but that will come as I start to build up with the fresh metal from the floor panel all the way up to the bulkhead, and then I will continue welding in that area. So the toe protector part. So the toe panel I've actually cut out on the passenger side all the way around, and then got rid of the lip as well with a grinder. It is all clamped in there, but what I'm going to do now is remove it, use a punch and joggle which actually punches holes to replicate the spot welding that this car would have had from factory around the edge. Now I may actually end up seam welding this all the way through. The reason I'm doing that, or putting a few holes in it first, is it gives a great penetration through the two panels, and also they're quite flexible to be able to move initially when there's only one or two on there to make sure that this panel is lined up perfectly. And then from that I can build outwards with all fresh steel and start smoothing the remaining bulkhead. So in true Anarchy Garage fashion, I got completely distracted. So while I went for my little dinner break, I was hunting around looking for measurements and just checking everything over with this, and then my eBay alerted and it said that there was doors listed. So I raced over, which has been a 4-hour round trip, and managed to get myself a couple of doors. Now this one is probably too far gone, but it does have all of the window frames, it's got door handles and all the winding mechanism inside, so that then means I only need a door. This one though is good to go, so it now means that I've got a door and a half to go on and check my measurements on the E-Type. So yeah, it's nearly a complete car now, but yeah, a little bargain, proper pleased, and again, something that needed to be done, but it has taken some time up. That's the passenger side then, all welded in, and I think you'll agree that looks absolutely banging. It is completely smoothed off on the front, and I've managed to keep all of these contours and shapes on the sides and also on the top as well. Now the reason I didn't completely repanel this actually has some pressing marks down the top here and on the top, and I like things like that to stay with the car. It just keeps that originality with the shell. I know obviously I'm cutting into this really deep, but little things like that just keep the history of the car. So what I'm going to do now is move on to what's going to be the driver's side. So I've got another pattern panel to start using as a stencil on that side, but then with this panel you'll see there's actually another piece that goes down the side there as well. So there's 5 centimeters to add onto the panel there, and then my 2 centimeters on the bottom, which is because of the additional chassis rails and me moving the floors slightly further down. So once all of that is tied together, we'll have 2 matching sides. I'm going to do my repair onto the chassis rail, and then the front is actually finished. So yeah, let's get cracking on with the driver's side. So I think you'll agree today has been a very productive day. I've now got both of my toe panels welded in on both the passenger and driver side as well. I've also done all of the repairs around it as well. Anything I've spotted, I've kind of done it as I've gone along. And I've started to make this plate as well, which joins this kind of top flat bit onto the chassis rail and onto the side of the actual tunnel of the car as well. Now, unfortunately, I have run out of welding gas, which is why I decided to start welding, and I've stopped kind of fabricating on it for this evening. But I think you'll agree, loads of progress on the front end of this. So yeah, I'm going to get some welding gas and then carry on. Okay, here we go then. My space frame is now going to be measured up and put onto the E-Type. Now this space frame I've been building in other episodes, and this actually has all of the mounts for the F-Type suspension and running gear already copied into it. So as soon as this joins onto the E-Type body, all of the engine and suspension will go straight on to the E-Type. But there's lots of measuring ahead, but a massive reward at the end. So I'm going to start getting stuck in right now. Hi guys, welcome back to the Anarchy Garage, and today we're at Gravity picking up our brand new wheels for the E-Type Revenge build. So let's have a look around the show and go and grab my new wheels. with Richie, RS Fox,
Hiya.
who has just started YouTubing as well.
Yes, doing well.
Is it?
Yeah,
Good?
quite well, yeah.
It is good. I'm watching it, so make sure you have a click on. You've come, obviously, up with the amazing focus.
Yes.
How much power are you running now?
Just on the 700.
Just under 700.
Yeah.
And one of our followers actually said, because last time we were together, is that forged?
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh, it has to be.
I'm new to this, I don't know.
You're gambling if it's not forged one of them.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
What level's gamble level?
Stage 4.
Stage
4.
I
If you
thought
get
it stopped at like 2.5. 3.
I'm on stage silly.
Stage silly?
Yeah, I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 plus, then silly.
Right. So I'm absolutely dying to see these wheels. This is the first time I've actually seen these wheels in the flesh since George originally measured them up and designed them based on the CAD drawing for the Jag. You've seen them though. Yeah. Try for you. Right, so these are custom made for the E-Type Jaguar Revenge, and George here put all of the measurements into CAD from the actual render and worked out how big the wheels are going to have to be from the arches, which we haven't even made yet. So yeah, absolute kudos to George for working this out.
Bit of a guessing game, but we figured it out.
Yeah, like the biggest wheel I've ever had on it. How many layers? Come on, stop teasing, George. Wow. That is pretty spectacular, isn't it?
Very nice.
Okay, so what we've actually gone for with the wheel is a gloss black dish, and then is satin with
Satin.
Yeah.
Satin black inside with the silver logo.
Yeah, so I think you'll agree these are going to set off the Jaguar absolutely perfectly, and think how big that is under an E-Type, and then the E-Type, bear in mind, has a 4 to 6 inch width. This is 11 we're sticking with an E-Type. This is absolutely 11 and a half. Sorry George, 11 and a half. This is becoming really tiresome. Because this won't flat out. I think it's my own fault for going flat out. This is getting heavy now. Forged or not, it's a long way. Some would call this truly tiresome. No, I'm joking, it's empty. The wheels are now back in the workshop for the very first time, and you can see just how monstrous these things are. They are ginormous. Now, these wheels also represent the biggest collaboration we've ever had in the garage, and that's because we've got West Forge working with us in the centre, who have custom made these wheels to our exact specification for the E-Type Revenge. Then on the outside we've got Nankang tyres on here, and they have specified these for our vehicle. So they've worked the rolling radius out for these to make sure all of the F-Type computers work seamlessly inside our car. Then also we've got Little Tyre Shop, who are also one of our sponsors, who have jumped on board and fitted these tyres for us, and without a mark as well. And also, Little Tyre Shop have now gone mobile, so you can get tyres fitted with them, not just at the workshop, but also all over Shropshire. So if you need somebody who really knows the job, make sure you check out Little Tyre Shop. So I'm going to put the rears into storage now, because we're still working on the front end of the E-Type Jaguar. But for now, that is it for this episode of the Anarchy Garage. See you next time.